what just happened? Am I dreaming? Are you sure it was you that came out of this car? I was just shouting, Jesus, Jesus. Hey, Jesus, am I under arrest? I didn't know how, but he did it. He made a way. This is my testimony. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for clicking. So today it's basically a story time, a testimony of something that happened to me earlier this year, which I was contemplating whether or not to share. And I know that at a point, people will ask, and I just felt like, well, let me just put it out there. It will definitely do no harm, and this is not in any way to advise anybody or to, I don't know, just listen to my story and pick whatever you want to pick from there. And yeah, so this happened in August of 2023, and been thinking about sharing it. When it first happened, of course, sharing it was the last thing on my mind. With recent events, when you're a lifestyle vlogger, for people who have been following, they will definitely see that there is a change in some things, and then they start asking questions. Oh, you did this, oh, you did that. So I changed my car, and I know some of the comments have been, oh, you changed your car, give us a tour, different questions like that. And so I just think this is an avenue, an opportunity for me to tell, this story. Basically, in August of 2023, one day in August 2021, Sunday in August of 2023, I had the scariest I don't want to be emotional in this video. I've done my crying, and my cries have been cries of thanksgiving to God. There are the lyrics of some songs that we sing casually, not really casually, you sing it, and you're grateful to God for life, you're grateful to God that you slept and you woke, you have something to eat, you have a roof over your head and things like that. But those words, those meanings, they come at you more deeply, more intensely when you have some experiences, and this is just one of it. I just count myself as one lucky girl. I'm not just lucky, I'm blessed, as in God has been just so faithful. If I count, I actually wanted to go inside and do my hair and do makeup and all that. This is still my pajamas that I'm wearing, but I just felt the nudge to make this video now, and let's just get on with it. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, if I recount, my life since I was conceived, from the stories my dad used to tell me, since the time I was conceived up until now, if I count the exact times, that it was very clear that I would have died, that yes, this girl will have died, will have gone, I can count at least four solid times. One, I didn't know about it, I was still in my mother's womb, but my dad told me about it. Number two was in church in Nigeria. We had gone, I'm an Anglican, and my church, then we used to have morning service and not really afternoon, just two services. So we have one at 7:30, we have another one at 10 a.m. So for the 7:30 service, we used to be on rota, for choristers who will sing for those services. So I was a member of the choir. I was very young then, I don't know if I can recount. I think I was about, because my mom was still alive then, I think I was about 10 years old. That's the second near-death experience that I've had. After the service, the 7:30 service, before we go in, those who want to go home, they will go home. But me, I was a choir master's daughter, so I had to wait behind. I mean, where am I going, a 10-year-old? I had to wait behind with my family for the second service before we left for home. So usually after this first service, they prepare food for us and we eat. Sometimes it can be rice, sometimes it's something simple, bread and tea. So this particular day it was bread, egg and tea. So I was eating my bread and egg and tea, and the egg just went the wrong way. It went the wrong way. It went into the trachea. So when you are eating, there is something called the glottis and the epiglottis, and the trachea is supposed to be closed. The trachea is the route to, how do I explain it? The trachea is like a pipe through which your air goes into your lungs. So there is an opening there, like a valve, which is supposed to be closed where you are eating. That's why maybe you've heard it before, that when you are eating, you can't eat and breathe at the same time. You know, like when you are eating, that epiglottis is closed so that food doesn't go into your trachea, because that is going to occlude your airway, and then you start fighting for breath. That was actually what happened to me. So the egg went in to the wrong way, and the funniest thing was that there were a lot of people there. If I can remember, at least there were at least 5 people there. And you know, 5 people in a room as big as this, my living room, and people were doing different things. There were other people eating, other people talking with themselves, other people picking out their choir robes for the 10 a.m. service. And I was here fighting for my life, and nobody was seeing me. You know those films that you watch, that something is happening to you and you are surrounded by a lot of people, but nobody is seeing what is happening to you, and you cannot shout for help. I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't move. I think I was beside a table. I tried to, like, you know, make a sound, but I could not. And I'm like, oh my God, this is how I would just die. This is like, nobody was taking notice of what was happening at that time. And I was struggling. I was struggling for breath, and that was how somebody just saw me miraculously and was like, oh, she's choking, she's choking, she's choking. And then they started giving me back slaps. Bag, 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 bag. The thing sha came out. And that was how I was saved on that day. It was an experience I will never forget. In fact, all these experiences I will never forget. That was it. Like, that was the first experience I can remember in my, you know, the time that I have known my left from my right, that yes, this happened to me. The second one, which I've shared on this channel before, was when I went to give blood, and you know, I almost died then too. So this leads us to this present one, which is my recent experience, my recent near-death experience. And you know, when I look back on this time, it happened in August. That was about 4 months ago. In fact, over 4 months ago. This song by Travis Green, I didn't know how, but he did it. He made a way. So on this fateful Sunday morning, I had gone to a night shift the previous night. So Saturday to Sunday, I was on night, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And I came back on Sunday morning, and of course, whether or not I go to work, I always try to go to church on Sundays. It's not just a routine, you know, it's part of me. Number one is the way I was brought up. Number two is one of the things that I've seen as how life should be. And it is an avenue for me also to start my week right, start my week with God. I know that I have my personal devotion and other, building a good relationship with God on your own, not just relying on routinely going to church and then just going back to your normal life, for the rest of the week. So I usually try, except I'm sick. So I came back from the night shift. I was okay. I'm a nurse, for those who don't know. So of course it's usually a stressful night. You have a maximum of 1 hour break, and you are not expected to sleep at work. So I came back. I wasn't feeling sleepy when I came back. I was okay. I took my bath and then I had something to eat. I think I ate bread. I ate bread and butter or something like that, and hot chocolate. I'm smiling because my friends know me for hot chocolate. They'll say that you this girl and hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate, so I took hot chocolate. I got in the car and I got off. I was driving. I think about 10 minutes into the journey, I was feeling sleepy. I was tired, quite right. But I mean, this is not the first time I will go to church after a night shift. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. And yeah, I just kept driving. I was swerving on the road. For UK roads, there are these things by the edge of the road that when you are getting off the road, there's a way it makes your tire feel. It will like vibrate or something. You know that you are going beyond where you're supposed to go on the road. So I felt that a couple of times, but I was like, oh, I'll soon be there, and I just kept driving. And all of a sudden, what I knew was the car started tumbling. What had happened was that I had closed my eyes while driving, and I had swerved off the road, and the car had eat. I don't know what the car eats. It was when the car eats what it eats that I came back to consciousness, and all these things, it was in a split of second. The car was tumbling. I think it tumbled like twice or thrice, and I was just shouting, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I was playing a song. I remember quite well that I was playing one of these, I have a playlist that I usually play in my car anytime I'm going out anyway. But on this particular day, particular person that was singing was Dusi Oyekon. I don't remember that song right now, but it just matched that moment in time. I was just shouting, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then the car stopped. Apparently the cars behind me, they have been slowing down once they saw that I had swerved off the road, and then they've been parking. So inside the car was, I'll try and insert pictures and videos on the screen for you. The car was upside down, so I was like this in the car. So I couldn't open the car. I was trying to find a way to open the car. The airbag did not come out. Immediately it happened, my iPhone had sent SOS to my emergency contact. So I had one of my friends and my sister as my emergency contact. So it had sent the message to them, and they've been trying to call me. I just saw that when I came out anyway. I saw that they were trying to call me, both of them. I'm like, this is not the right time for you to be calling me. Why are you calling me? And then I can see on the phone, it started blinking and telling me that there has been a crash. Emergency services have been notified and all that. Anyway, while I was trying to open the car, I was trying to find a way to open the car. Trying to unbuckle myself and, open the car. I was struggling with that. And, now that I think of it, there are a lot of things that could have gone wrong that I'm just grateful to God for. Fuel tank could have busted. There could have been fire. I could have hit another person. I could have hit a car. Life could have been lost. Life that is not even mine could have been lost. And those are many of the things that I'm so grateful to God for. That it was just me. I didn't have any passenger in the car. I didn't have nobody in the car. It was just me. And God saved me. I came out. I was in shock. I finally found a way to unbuckle myself and open the car, and I came out. And by the time I came out, even before I came out, I saw a man and he was like, "Are you alright? Are you okay? Can you manage?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine." All of them could not believe that I was okay. They were just checking me and looking. One of the people who parked their cars and came down said she was a nurse, and then she was trying to look and assess me and say, "Oh, are you alright? Have you got bruise anywhere? Have you got fracture?" I said, "I'm fine." No. And truly I was fine. The only thing was that I was in shock. I could not believe. That was the very first time I would be in a road traffic accident. I was in shock, like I was shaking. What just happened? For a while I was in denial that, am I dreaming? Is this me? What just happened? And then before we knew it, the ambulance team were around, and the police were around also, and they took me into the ambulance. They just wanted me to rest. They checked my vitals. My vital signs were okay. Nothing was wrong. They checked it twice actually. The person that checked it was like, "Okay, we'll give you some more minutes. I'll check it later." And then she checked it again and it was fine. They asked me if I wanted to go to the hospital. I said, "No, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm okay. I'm all right. There's no fracture. There's no strain. There's no bruise. There's no bleeding. There's no cut. There was nothing. I was fine." But my car was a total wreck. People that saw the car and saw me, they were like, "Are you sure it was you that came out of this car?" The car was a total loss. By the time insurance did all their assessment and everything, the car was written off. The car was, they could not repair it. It was termed a total loss. Luckily for me, some of my church members were actually on their way to church also, so they saw my car and then they parked and they came down. They were there, and that made it even easier for me because then I could get into their car and then we left for church. Of course I went to church, and you know, around that time my dad was still in the United Kingdom. He came for a visit. They were all calling like, "Are you okay? Are you alright?" "I'm fine, I'm okay." I just thank God. I thank God for deliverance, because the hand of man has not done this. The word of God says He gave His angels charge over you so that you will not dash your foot on the stone. That verse came alive. Like it came alive to me on that day, that this could have only been God. This could have only been God. The sick up that I took after that incident was not because I was injured physically. It was because I was injured mentally, psychologically, you know, the shock, and I had anxiety, and yeah. But physically I was okay, not a scratch. When people hear about this, and even when I think about it, I just think about a lot of things that could have happened. A lot of things that could have landed me in jail in the UK. So after that, you know, I said the police came. So the police came, they were asking questions. Apparently they've asked questions from the cars that have parked behind me. They've asked them various questions, and one of them, because they were asking that, was I speeding? What happened? Of course I told them what happened. Was I speeding? What happened? And then the man behind me, the man whose car was behind mine, was telling them that, "Oh no, I wasn't speeding, that I was even going around 40 or so, that he was behind me and that was like what he was going, so I wasn't speeding." So they did this alcohol test on me. I breathed into this instrument just for them to know if I was drunk. After that, the ambulance team gave me a note if I needed to go to the hospital. They gave me like a sheet of paper like that. They've written everything, you know, the incident report and everything, and my vital signs and all. If I needed to go to the hospital, I should just take it along with me, or I should just call 999 and they will come to me. And then after that, I went into the police vehicle and they were questioning me about what happened and all. My God, I was like, "Hey Jesus, am I under arrest?" Am I under arrest? So after that, they asked for my insurance people, and then they asked me to contact them and all that. So basically the police, or maybe it was the firemen, because the firemen were also there. The firemen were there, the ambulance were there, the police were there. So I think it was the firemen. The firemen actually unturned the car. If there's any English like that, they unturned the car, and then I got my stuffs out of it. I lost a shoe. I lost my set of keys. I couldn't find them. But yeah, I got the other things that I could get from the car before they took it away. So my insurance people I had to inform my insurance people, and then they had to go clear it from wherever the car was taken. This is my testimony. This is my testimony. I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful for his goodness, his kindness, his mercies, his love. I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. You know, the next time when I was in church, and usually at the end of the service, my pastor will usually pray one prayer, and he will say, anybody in this week, anybody that has a covenant with death, it is cancelled in Jesus' name. You know, little did I know that last week when I was saying amen to this prayer, they were actually praying for me. They were actually praying for me. It was just so unbelievable for a lot of people. What? This is you? You came out of this car? And I'm just thankful to God. Yeah, I'm just thankful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for his many blessings, his protection, his provision. It's been awesome. I am grateful, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. So this is just my testimony of God's goodness and mercy and faithfulness. His mercy, basically, his mercy towards me day after day, and especially through this particular situation that could have claimed my life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my other videos. Bye.